ML Sound Lab ML5. Hello everybody, I am Lucas. Today we are going to be checking out something really cool. It's the newest amp from ML Sound Lab, and that's going to be the ML5. And it's based off of the legendary Mesa Mark V. We're going to dive into it, go over the different modes, the presets, and I'll show you some of the presets that I made for myself. But if this is your first time here, or if you've been here before, guys, please make sure you are subscribed. I do lots of cool things here. I go over lots of amp sims, axe effects, gear, go over tons of cool stuff, guitars. I don't want you to miss any of that. Make sure you are subscribed. So let's dive right in to ML5. As I said before, the ML5 plugin is based off of the Mesa Mark V, and the whole thing around the Mark V is it's kind of a collection of the different Mark series amps, but they actually left out the Mark III, which the Mark III is kind of like the black sheep of the Mark family, and it's seen here because they left it out. Now if you want to know the whole history of the Mark series amplifiers, I actually did a video on that, and I'll link it up top if you want to check that out and go over the history of the Mark series amps. But let's dive right into ML5. So you have 3 channels, just like on the Mark V, physical Mark V itself, and in each channel you have 3 different modes. As you can see right here, these are all the different modes through all the different channels. And you have your presets right here. You can actually save presets in here, which is actually really cool. As you can see, I've saved one right there. Before, in other amp models, you would have to save it through the DAW itself, and I would come right here and I would save it right here, and it would pull it up. But you can actually save it in plugin this time, which is really nice. You have your pedal board. I'm actually gonna leave the pedal board up through the entire video, so that way you're not surprised and you can actually see what's going on. One other thing I wanted to show you, which is pretty tight. So you can actually click the little knobs right here, and it moves between the different modes, and you can do it on any channel, as you can see. And you also do have the EQ as on the original Mark V itself, and you can turn it on and off, and you can adjust it here. Since this is the actual plugin itself and you can actually use EQ on it, you can use the EQ in here. I would just kind of, you know, fine tweak it a little bit. Don't get super focused on the EQ in here, because you can also EQ it outside of it. So let's dive right in. This is the very first preset. This is the channel 1. This is the clean preset, and this is the clean mode, I should say, and this is the pristine preset. Now the cleans on amp sims, sometimes they're kind of hard to come by because a lot of amp sims focus on a lot of high gain, but this is a good clean foundation. So you can definitely build off of here. You can definitely have effects. You have the reverb that's on right here. You can put some delay if you want, but the cool thing is you can put other delays from your DAW itself. You can add it right on, and you can get yourself a nice big thick clean sound if you want. So this is the ambient clean preset. Let's check this out real quick. Hear that ambience on there from the delay. Let's move right along to the dotted delay preset. Very cool preset. So I'm going to run through a lot of the presets pretty fast since we have a lot to go through, and I'm going to probably focus a little bit more time on my presets, kind of explain to you exactly how I dialed them in. So this is my preset, and this is the Lucas Clean. Also too, whenever you're playing cleans, make sure you have a compressor handy so that way you don't get any clipping. A lot of times when you play cleans, you'll pick kind of hard sometimes and then you'll have a spike. So make sure you use a compressor, especially whenever you're recording. My preset, all I really did was I kind of based it, I guess, on ambient clean, sort of. I just threw some delay, I threw some reverb on there, and I just kind of tweaked it to the sound good. That was really it. I didn't put any EQ. Let's move on to the next setting, and that is going to be the fat setting. So it's still a clean tone, but it's a little bit fatter, and this is going to go with fat clean preset. It's nice and fat. It's a little bit warmer. It's actually a lot warmer. Actually, we have some fat ambience. Next preset we're gonna have is gonna have some clean delay. Last but not least, we're gonna actually have my preset, which I call Lucas Fat Boy. I do like the fat preset. It gives it a little bit more warmth, makes it obviously a little fatter. Now let's go on to the tweed setting. We are still on the clean. We have some tweed drive, and as you can hear, we got a little bit more noise going on, and that's what I'm gonna slap on my gate to kind of keep all that noise away, and this is going to be the tweed drive. By the way, I'm using a Tom Anderson Cobra S with HC pickups, and there's HC1 in the neck and HC3 in the bridge, and those are Tom Anderson pickups, and everything you've heard so far has been on the split position on my guitar. So I'm going to actually put it to the bridge now, and the next one we have is a boosted tweed. For those who don't know, Mesas are basically based on a Fender Tweed circuit, so the tweed here makes total sense for that because it's one of Randall Smith's favorite circuits. That's what he built the Mark I off of. So this is going to be my tweed preset. So this setting is, to me, it's kind of good for like, you know, some lighter rock, kind of like some classic rock things. We can kind of get pretty cool on there. That's what I think the tweed is the best for. So let's move on to channel 2. This is going to be the crunch setting. I need to adjust my gate a little bit here so we don't get any more noise. There we go. And I'll let you see that. Yeah, got the gate going on right there. Oh, still a little bit of noise. There we go, sorry about that. Now back to ML5. As you can see, the EQ is gonna be kicked in here. Let's bring up the pedal board again. This is just a rock rhythm. It's a big rock rhythm preset. This one is very thick. It's very, very full of mid. By the way, for presets, they basically kind of just give you like a place to aim. So if you pull up a preset and you think it sounds pretty good, tweak it to make it sound good. So that way it'll sound good with your guitar, and then you can actually come here and save it if you want. Now let's go to the beefy gain. This would be a good thing to build a lead off of, actually. I actually really like it a lot. You do have a noise gate in here too. I just have the one in my DAW because I already have it set up, and you saw you take, yeah. See, if you actually stack both of them, it kind of helps you because the threshold is actually down kind of right here. You probably would have to crank that up a little bit. Let's see if I can turn my gate off. Yeah, I can. So it acts also a lot like row amps, to where you do have that noise that'll come in here. Now the next preset we're gonna have is the squishy lead. And let's definitely put up the noise gate there. I'm gonna stay on the bridge pickup for this. That's pretty epic, and that's right here within the actual amp itself. That's a really good preset. I really like that now. Beefy lead. It's a beefy lead. Yeah, I think I did make this one. Yeah, I did make a beefy lead. You know, you gotta get some randy diddlies in there whenever you're doing a lead. Beefy lead is great. I actually based that on the beefy, like I said before. And this is, we did go over squishy lead already. Let's go over some Captain Crunch. This is my preset, obviously, that I make, as I called it, Lucas Captain Crunch. And let's check out what this sounds like. Still in the bridge pick. Kind of made this preset to be kind of like a little light crunch, you know, maybe like classic rock, kind of starting to get into like maybe a pop punk type of thing. Now that we have explored all of the crunch settings, let's actually back up a little bit and go to the edge settings, because I actually skipped over it, so sorry about that. So it goes edge, crunch, and ML1, which is going to be on the Mark 1. So let's throw on the noise gate right here. Oh, and you probably didn't expect this, but this amp is absolutely great for pop punk. Yes, the Mark V or ML5 actually does pop punk fantastic, and I find that the edge, not the edge from U2, but the edge setting on here is absolutely great for it. Kind of went in a different order, showed you my actual plugin. Let's go back to very top. These are the built-in presets, and this is going to be the edgy rock. It's very, very, very dark. Once again, this amp has tons of mids, so don't be afraid to scoop a little bit about. This is going to be the pushed edge. Just make sure you don't push anyone completely off of the edge. Now here we're going to have some spanky lead, and we're going to slap that noise gate right on there. It's actually a really good preset with just a little bit of delay right there. Now this is my edgy preset that I made. Gonna live life on the edge. This preset needs a little bit more bass, and I kind of like reformulated it a little bit and made it into my pop punk preset. But the edge mode is actually really, really good. It kind of bridges the gap, you know, in between, like, you know, super clean, and then you're starting to get a little bit of distortion tones. It's, you know, you can kind of get some classic rock stuff. Classic rock, kind of, if you want some pop punk, you can definitely get that with crunch, which we went over actually before edge, because I'm dumb and I actually skipped it. So let's move to the Mark 1 mode in channel 2. And this one is called Latin Lead, and yes, that is referring to the great Carlos Santana. The Mark 1 sings whenever, it sings so greatly whenever you're doing leads. This preset, a little bit kind of dark here. Single note, so I guess it wants us to do some single note stuff. Get on there, noise gate. Guess this would kind of be more of like your lead type of preset, sort of. Thick rhythm for the Mark 1. The volume is a little low on this preset. I'm gonna normalize it in post, but right now, whenever you're playing, it's a little bit low. So just be careful with your levels when you're going through here, because sometimes they can be a little bit low. Just make sure your gain staging is correct. So that is actually going to be it for channel 2. Let's move on to channel 3, and we're going to start with the 2C Plus mode. The Mark 2C Plus, ultra famous amp, made very popular by Metallica. They used it on a lot of their famous albums, and let's dive into it. So the first preset we're going to be checking out is going to be Mr. Thick Rhythms. Tight rhythm, really great. It's really good presets, actually full of mids, so just make sure you scoop them out like I said before, because this amp has tons of leads. Now we're gonna do a liquid lead here. I'm actually gonna move to my neck pickup now. Use a liquid lead preset. Turn on the noise again in here, by the way. Let's turn on the reverb and let's put it kind of low in the mix. See what that sounds like. Mark II, and Mark II gets it done here. Let's go to some T-Rex rhythm lead. Once again, noise gate on. Back to bridge pickup. T-Rex rhythm. It sounds a lot like tight rhythm actually. Yeah, there's a little bit of difference between the two. But let's check out the preset I made, and I called it ML2 Metallica Boogaloo. So let's check it out. Obviously, I tried to make this sound like Metallica. I think they used the 2C Plus like on Master of Puppets and stuff, and you know, kind of a lot of the older albums they use it on, and it's sprinkled in a lot of the newer albums. This can actually use a little bit of bass. Sorry that sounded so thin. Let's jack it up. And I kind of want to show you someone here. The bass kind of comes up all of a sudden here, so you kind of have to be careful. Yes, I have a lot of the mids scooped out there. It's kind of what Metallica did for a lot of their stuff. They scooped it and used active pickups. I find you get in that ballpark of Metallica tone, definitely with the 2C Plus setting here. Now, let's move on to the Mark IV setting, Dream Rhythm. Yes, this was based off of John Petrucci. All of these are pretty much John Petrucci type of stuff. And here, this is going to be the Dream Rhythm, so it's John Petrucci type of rhythm. That was Dream Rhythm. Let's move on to some sustained lead. Gonna kick on the noise gate for that and go to my neck pickup. That too, it's definitely John Petrucci vibes. I really like that preset. That preset's good. Now, Chocolate Cake. Now, let me explain this. So, John Petrucci, on one of the albums, goes into this long explanation. He's like, your tone's like chocolate cake. You got this layer, and this layer, and this layer, and this layer. And that's where this preset name comes from. This is very thick, very chocolatey, if you will. Now, this is a preset I made, called it ML4, Your Mum is a Whore. Guys, sorry about that. That is like so extra thin. I definitely need some bass in there. That put a little bit too much. I'm tweaking on the fly, guys. Tweaking on the fly. Maybe put a little bit more gain in there. So now we are going to come to the last section of ML5, and that is going to be the extreme mode. By the way, little piece of Jeopardy quiz. Bill Paxton's nickname on Twister was The Extreme. Twister had a very great soundtrack, had Van Halen, had a lot of cool other people on there. We are in the extreme mode. The very first preset we're gonna get is gonna be a balanced rhythm. The extreme mode is just what you think it is. It's extreme and it's full gain. This is a great lead channel. You have so much gain in here. It's blasted in here. Now we have smooth lead. You can be on the bridge pickup for this. I really like that lead. The lead is very great. Very, very smooth. Extreme boost. We're boosted, got the noise gate going on there, gonna turn that up a little bit. This is gonna be full gain, yes. It's also full of mids. So, well actually, yeah, it is full of mids, and all the mids are scooped out of it. I guess that's, yeah, because the gain is turned all the way up. That's why it's all full of mids. Yes, the extreme is Mr. Bill Paxton, so I made him a little preset. Very extreme. And we have the very last preset. You like jazz, so we're gonna have ourselves some extreme ML5 with a little bit of lead tone. By the way, if you want a jazz tone out of here, I think the best position for that would probably be somewhere in the clean. You do fat clean, you could definitely get yourself a good jazz tone. But guys, we have reached the end of ML5. As you can see, we have a ton of different modes that we explored here. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I know this kind of ran a little long, but we had a lot of stuff to go and run through here. We have 3 channels, and we have 3 modes on each, so you have a lot of stuff packed in here. You can get a lot of different tones. You can get like some extreme like death metal tones on the extreme if you want. You can get some clean stuff. You can get pop punk. As you can see, this amp sim does a lot. I didn't even really talk about the cab. Normally I use, sometimes I'll use like outside IRs when I'm using amp sims. The amp cab that's in here, it's absolutely great. I'm pretty sure it's the ML traditional cab. That's the one that Miko put in here. And it sounds great. I really love that cab. You can really get some good Dream Theater type tones with that. So guys, now I'm gonna pass it on to you. What do you think of ML5? I think it's great. It has tons of versatility and you can get all kinds of different tones that you want. Let me know what's your favorite part of ML5 down in the comments down below. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate that. If you're not subscribed, guys, really think about it. Just push that little red button at the bottom. You can get subscribed and get all the cool stuff that I do coming your way, and I don't want you to miss it. Guys, thank you so much for watching and sticking around. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have to catch you in the next one. Peace.